guys, hello once again. This is Teacher Rona to give you another 3 patterns for today. So as you know, what we usually do is I would like you to prepare a piece of paper and your pen so we can start our listening now. So let's have our first pattern for today. Listen carefully. Okay, our first pattern is I told you to. I told you to. Step 1, number 1. I told you to be careful. I told you to be careful. Number 2. I told you to take my advice. I told you to take my advice. Number 3. I told you to call me. I told you to call me. Number 4. I told you to feed the cat. I told you to feed the cat. And number 5. I told you to take it easy. I told you to take it easy. Now let's have for the second time, let's have a review. Number 1. I told you to be careful. 2. I told you to take my advice. 3. I told you to call me. 4. I told you to feed the cat. And number 5. I told you to take it easy. Well, there you go guys. That will be our first pattern. Let's move on for our second pattern for today. Second pattern is I told him not to. I told him not to. Step 1, number 1. I told him not to stay up so late. I told him not to stay up so late. Number 2. I told him not to mess around. I told him not to mess around. Number 3. I told him not to go alone. I told him not to go alone. Number 4. I told him not to worry about it. I told him not to worry about it. And number 5. I told him not to take that job. I told him not to take that job. Let's move on for our review. First one is I told him not to stay up so late. 2. I told him not to mess around. 3. I told him not to go alone. 4. I told him not to worry about it. And number 5. I told him not to take that job. Well, there you go. Second pattern. Third pattern now. Kindly prepare your paper and your pen. The first one, or the third pattern is would you rather? Would you rather? Step 1. Would you rather take a break? Would you rather take a break? Second one. Would you rather stay home? Would you rather stay home? Number 3. Would you rather see a movie? Would you rather see a movie? 4. Would you rather I left you alone? Would you rather I left you alone? And number 5. Would you rather think about it for a while? Would you rather think about it for a while? Let's have a review for our third pattern. 1 is would you rather take a break? 2. Would you rather stay home? 3. Would you rather see a movie? 4. Would you rather I left you alone? And number 5. Would you rather think about it for a while? And let's move on now by checking your work. Okay, so our first pattern is I told you to. Before we're going to discuss it, we have to check your sentences first. And kindly please check your spelling as well. First one is, first sentence is, I told you to. I told you to be careful. Second one. I told you to. I told you to take my advice. Third, I told you to. I told you to call me. 4. I told you to. I told you to feed the cat. And then I told you to. I told you to take it easy. Okay, so those are the 5 sentences that we have for our first pattern. Now let's discuss, guys. Maybe you're wondering, where do we usually use this pattern, I told you to? Well, guys, most of the time we are trying to confirm or we are trying to inform other people, right? So in this case, you are trying to give a specific order to someone. So probably most of the time, guys, if you do have a high position or power to tell it with someone or to give an order, that is what we call, or we can use, I told you to. And kindly don't forget to follow and use your verb or be and your adjective. And that will be our first pattern for today. Let's move on now for second pattern. Kindly check your sentences. Second one is, I told him not to. And these are the sentences. I told him not to. I told him not to stay up so late. Second one. I told him not to. I told him not to mess around. Let's have the third one. I told him not to. I told him not to go alone. Number 4. I told him not to. Not to worry about it. And number 5. I told him not to. There you go, guys, our 5 sentences for this pattern. Okay, now when we see I told him not to, what is the difference? Our first pattern a while ago is what we call I told you to. This is what we call direct approach. And in this case, we are using this him. So probably you're telling someone, but your main subject is not the person, but the other person around. So this is I told him not to. You're trying most of the time approaching, well, we can use it in a negative way, but most of the time I told him not to, trying to confirm it as well with other people. And kindly don't forget to use, or the next one, use verb. Okay, third pattern is, let's check your sentences. Okay, and that is would you rather. First one. Would you rather? Would you rather take a break? Would you rather? Would you rather stay home? Next, would you rather? Would you rather see a movie? And then, would you rather? Would you rather I left you alone? And then, would you rather? Would you rather think about it for a while? Now let's have our last pattern, which is would you rather. So we usually use would you rather. Most of the time we use rather when you're having a choices or comparison between two things. Okay, so you have an option or choices into such a situation and you have the freedom to choose for it. So that is would you rather, and kindly don't forget to follow up with your verb. So let's have now a review once again. The first pattern for today is I told you to. In this case, you are giving an order, and don't forget to follow up with your verb, be, and your adjective. Second one, I told him not to. This is what we call third person. You are approaching in a little negative way, but of course don't forget to follow up with your verb. And the third one, would you rather? Rather is something to do with having an option or choices into a situation. And also don't forget to follow up with your verb. There you go, guys. There's another 3 patterns that you've learned, and I hope you're going to use it every day. Just apply it, and I'm going to see you again next time for another 3 patterns. Have a great day. Bye.